Question 5. This is like drinking out of a fire hydrant, doing igniting and like last today. Self-reflection. And here's what I'll tell you, there are no wrong answers. It's only who you are.
Alright.
There are no wrong answers.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Thank you. Maybe just, I got 2, maybe if you wanna ask if anybody else is, I'll give you one of them.
Oh, I know it's print out. Says the printer cycle.
So there's 2 in here, and I don't really need one, but. You haven't been. I know, I'll hold one while we do this, and so, just so you guys know, we are gonna get through all of it. I know that because it's pretty hard before time I've gone through this packet. And to be clear, their intention with this was when someone signed up for MAPS coaching. This was a thought. I don't think it's gonna go this way, but Gary's thought was if somebody were to sign up for MAPS coaching, they were gonna have them fly down to Austin and do a 2-day intensive where they really get to know themselves before they ever start coaching. Because what we've learned through coaching is the coach wants to get in and start moving people forward, and yet a lot of times they don't even really know what they want or who they are. So the original intention of this was to have people come in and spend 2 days on this. So we're gonna do it in 1 hour. I told you, I'm telling you, we're not gonna get it all done. But we're gonna get started. And so if you guys want to turn to page first page, or not pages are number 7. Yes, first page, it's called the Keller Thinking Box. And we're gonna wait for Sherry.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Oh, here she comes. I was gonna say. Yes.
So the very first thing is thinking outside the box. So are we, outside the box, is that like, just to define it a little bit more, is that like what normal people would think, or is that like what first thing that comes to your head, or like outside the box, is that like?
I think outside the box thinkers are really creative. Like they think in, I think about, like, I like art. So I don't have any art in my house that is,
A square box.
what is the style where it's very like,
Temporary.
yeah, it's like,
Like Kincaid,
like Kincaid is not outside the box.
Right,
That's
right,
not
right.
real.
Right,
But
right.
outside the box is where
Finger paint.
it's like all these
Abstract.
things, like abstract.
Okay.
So I would say like an out of the box thinker thinks just, it's the one person in the room that comes up with an idea that nobody else would have thought of because it's so like almost abstract.
Like problem solving, like is it, like, okay, here's the issue, how can we solve it, and it doesn't really conform to
Yeah.
what normal people
Yeah.
think.
Like there's 10 people in the room, 8 of the 10 just have a very linear way that may be logical. And one person is like, what if we go stand on the corner and wave red flags and da 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 da, and then everybody goes, well, that might work, but it's really unique. Like that's an out of the box thing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You guys, I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes. We're gonna go quick. I want you to turn to the first page. And this is a self-assessment. And you get to take the packet home. So like, if you don't get it done, it's okay. But I want you to go through, there are 15 lines. And you're gonna rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. And then in each one of the 5 sections, you're gonna total up the points in the gray box. For that section.
Even if they were gonna get rid of that, just get rid of those,
Yeah,
so we can hear.
I don't need a wall there.
Yeah, and we've had like, that thing's been broken, like, I can't take them in time.
Since I started. Well, we had it fixed,
Oh, it's been fixed,
but sometime this
Times,
year,
I've been-
and it's
yeah.
broken again.
Very good.
It won't be any good, they don't. I've done it several times. With,
So then once you have that tallied up, you're gonna total for each of your gray boxes. And then the highest total is your default leadership thinking style. So you're gonna either be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5. And you can be tied. So if you have two that are the same, that's okay. We'll talk about what that's gonna look like.
You say,
One more time.
So
We're gonna total up all the names that we put in the.
total in each box, and whichever section is the highest score
Oh,
is your default leadership thinking style, and I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna tell you what each one of these means. You're a 4, John?
Yeah.
I'm a 3. Okay, so if you guys scroll down, and by the way, that means you're a natural at blank, and that this is actually on page 3. So when you go to page 3, anybody in here a 1? You were highest in 1. Okay, so Sherry, your default leadership style is you think in choices, and you're a creator. So the question that you probably ask often is, what are my options? You like to know what your options are so that you can make decisions based on options. Who's number 2? Okay, Brittany and Donna.
I'm tired with them.
So number 2 is you're a details person, and we call that the analyst. So your default leadership style, you probably ask questions like, where is the research? What do I need to research, dive into? And that's gonna help you make decisions. Any number 3s?
That would be me.
Okay, so 2 number 3s. That is, you're an optimist, and you're gonna be looking for the positives in the decisions you make. So the general question that we hear with people that are high in number 3 is, what are the upsides? Like, what could go really well with this? Now, anybody number 4? Okay, so that is, this is the negative, your default leadership. And here's what's interesting. Gary Keller is a black hatter, right? Like, we call these folks black hatters. And they're going to be more focused on risk management. What could go wrong? And I'll say this, I've done hundreds of KPAs with people, verified and hired people. Most leadership positions have a level of low optimism. Why do you guys think that might be?
If you're looking for anything that could possibly deliver.
Yeah, you want to project. Doesn't mean you're creating drag or you're not solution oriented, but you want to look ahead and say, what could go wrong such that like we could avoid it? That's a,
or if it goes wrong, what can we
What else?
fix it?
that's
Yeah,
right.
it's always,
Like, how do you get ahead of the thing that could go wrong, right?
And you avoid the surprise.
That's right. And then you're gonna make decisions now based on what could go wrong. And then the last one is number 5, which is the intuitive. That you, gosh, we have a good mix in the room. So the intuitive is like, it's about feelings. Like, what's my blink on this? I'm actually I make a lot of decisions based on gut, which is weird, but like, you either feel it or you don't feel it. And, it's a true way that people make decisions. So pretty interesting.
Common higher technique.
Yeah, yeah. And then we decide if our gut is telling us good things or bad things. Like, shoot. Usually though, if we make a bad hire, I go back and I go, gosh, my gut instinct was that wasn't gonna be a good hire. But my mind talked me out of it. Gut is usually right. Gary talked a lot about like the gut being right. Okay.
What's Gary?
Gary is a negative. Yeah, he definitely, and like historically is known for that. Like, he's going to dissect it apart, figure out all the places it could fail. And like, the thing is Gary makes a lot of bad decisions still, like we do. It's just how you default make decisions. And having an awareness around that, what I have found with assessments is once I'm clear on how I'm wired, it allows me to just settle into that, not think that I need to change myself to be like somebody else. You know what I mean? None of these are wrong. It's just how you're wired. And that means that sometimes we might need to hire somebody around us that's more on the positive side, or we may need to have somebody around us that's gonna do the research because we're automatically gonna go into a gut, right? So it's just awareness.
One quick thing, and that's the thing that I don't understand, a lot of, people. They did studies and even if they know that, like in college, they're in groups, and even if they know that that person's not gonna get a good grade. They choose people that are like it. But
What do you mean?
like, if they know that they're gonna think like them. So like, if they're not there, then that person's gonna be like they were, make the same decisions. But I always thought it'd be better to have people that, cause I was surprised by that, cause I always thought, like you said, it'd be better for. You know, you don't wanna have too many different things, but you do wanna surround yourself with people that. What is it, counter?
It like brings variety to, yeah, balance or,
Even jobs,
yeah,
you never hired anybody like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, makes sense, right? Like, if you truly wanna grow and you wanna have varying perspectives, you're gonna surround yourself with people that actually think different. Okay, we're gonna go into your behavior box. So this is gonna be how you naturally behave. And so, this is the next page, and we're gonna do the same thing. We have 4 sections. And, come in, I will get you a packet. Hey, Heather, when you walk out, will you just ask Madison to print one more packet for me here? Same thing, 4 sections, and then tally up in your gray boxes your totals. Okay. So, Krista, we're like on about page like 5. So then on this page, same idea, right? So we've got you're gonna be a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. And you can have a tie. So Krista, once you fill out those lines, you total the gray boxes, and then whichever one is highest is gonna be you're leaving natural behavioral style. Okay, how many of you guys were a 1? Okay, bunch of 1s. That's kind of, I think that's kind of normal. 1s are activators. They're fast paced and people focused. That would be kind of, you'd probably see that in our industry, right? Especially as an individual agent, if my brain goes to the KPA, individual agents are high responsive usually, right? And they're usually really low structure. Like they just, they respond, but like a lot of times it's kind of like me, it's like shoot and then aim. That's the activator, right? How many of you guys are number 2, taskers? All right. So taskers are slower pace and task focused. So you're gonna be more methodical, which makes sense with your last assessment. You're gonna be more methodical and more task focused. Doesn't mean you can't do this industry, right? It's just a different way of doing it. You know, one of my favorite people, and I talk about him all the time. He's probably the number 3, fast paced and task focused, but Peter Chabris, I would say he's probably tied for a tasker achiever. Very methodical in how he thinks. He's task focused, right? He's not a high social guy, but he built his business leaning on that strength. Everything is systematized, structured, makes decisions very deliberately, right? Like he's not winging anything. Okay, number 3 are achievers. They're fast paced and task focused. Any achievers in here?
Second.
That was your second highest? Yeah, I would look at your first and second highest. And then number 4 is collaborator. So you're slow paced and people focused.
How can I be a 1 and a 4? I don't understand.
That's exactly where I'm at.
It could be that it could be certain areas you're faster paced and certain areas you're slower paced in your business. So you like to get stuff done, but you want to collaborate probably with people, which could be what slows you down. Could be.
Would that be part of leveraging because you need other people
Yeah, it could be.
along the way?
Yeah, it could be, or you may just need somebody that is a taskmaster in your world that doesn't, like you give them a list and they knock it out without a lot of collaboration. And so John, and then you couple onto that, like your leadership style is thinking about what could go wrong. None of this is wrong, by the way, but you're thinking about what could go wrong. You're collaborating with people. And then you're making decisions, right? So all of those together could be where it just slows you down. All right, so that is your behavior box. I love this page. This page walks through those 4 behaviors, and it talks about temperature of engagement from low to high. So that is how you engage with people, right? Your engagement. And then left to right is if you're moving slow or fast. So it's the same 4 things, and you can see the questions that you ask. So how many of you guys, there were 3 of you that were ones. Ones are fast paced and people focused. They like to do it with people. And the questions they ask are what, where, and who. They're energizers, they're mobilizers, and they're drivers. You guys see that? So our 2s, our taskers, they are going to ask how and why. They can do it right and they can do it alone, right? They can put their head down and do something and get it done. And they're more reserved, they're more meticulous, and they're more deliberate. And then your 3s, they can do it alone. They're going to ask what and where, and they're independent, they're efficient, and they're results oriented. And then number 4 is the collaborator. They're slower paced, they're people focused. They're going to do it right. They're going to do it with people, and they are going to ask who and why. And they're more inclusive, diplomatic, and people oriented. So just kind of gives you an idea of like how you're wired. Does that help you to get an idea of like where you fit in the behavior boxes? Is it helpful? It's just kind of a clarity thing. I think more than anything, it's easy for us to get caught up in, well, they do it different, and I do it this way. And the reality is all of them work. It's just knowing that you're wired that way and then taking ownership of it. Okay. So next one is your core needs. So in this list, and there are 3 of these. So actually, I think we'll just go ahead and take like 5 or 6 minutes and do all 3. So in the next 3 pages, let me see if it's 3 or 4. You're gonna, and I want you to go fast. So you're gonna circle your top 10 in the list of words. And then you don't need to do step 2 unless you want to. That's just rewriting them. But if you just circle them in the top, and then I want you to force rank them, 1 being the most important, 10 being the least important. And so you're going to do that on the next 1, 2, 3, next 4, 5 pages. And I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes. You've got about 2 minutes per page. So go fast, go with your gut. John, don't think about all the things that could go wrong.
Page.
You got 2 minutes per page. Just circle 10 and then force rank them, go to the next page. We're almost 5 minutes in. How are you guys doing?
On the one side too.
Just keep going, there's like 5 of them, so
Oh.
just keep.
Oh, keep going.
Just keep doing the ones where you select, there's 5 sections where you select 10 words and then force rank. And I'll say this, I didn't say this. If there's a word that comes to your mind that's not on the list, use your word. Like, these are just ideas, but
So right now, we'll just start going.
circle the top 10 and then go back after you circle them and rewrite them in the number 3.
Oh, so we're not doing this page.
Yep, you can do that, babe. Yep. But once you've circled the top 10, the step number 3, which is the bottom right, says to force rank them. So you're gonna then go write them down, most important to least important to you. In each one of those pages.
All right, slow, so I'll probably do a number percent.
Yeah, that's fine too. You can go up to the top and just put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next to the word you circled, and then you don't. Rewriting the list like 3 times just takes a lot of time, so. So there should be 5 pages where you circle your top 10. And then after you circle them, I would go back and like force rank. If you have time. If you don't have time to force rank it, that could be just something you do after class, but if you have time to go back, and rank them.
I think my church is.
Similar, right? Okay. How are we doing? It's a lot of words. What section are you in, Brittany?
The last,
You guys need a minute or two more?
yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and talk through, and if you didn't get it completely done, it's okay. Remember when we started and I said this was a 2-day intensive? It's a lot, and it's kind of heavy too, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to discovering your core needs, which is the first section of words. So your core needs are actually the things that really drive and fulfill you. And there is a difference. Can we all agree there's a difference between need and want? Even though most of the time we confuse them in our mind. Like, I need a new car, but do I need a new car or do I want a new car? It's me, I don't really need or want a new car, but maybe my
But you
husband
had
does.
to get one eventually, because eventually you did need,
Eventually it was time. But for me,
normally.
that would be an example of something I don't need or want. I need a driver. Wait, do I need a driver or do I want a driver?
I don't know, you get a whole lot done if you have a bad driver.
Did I not see you on driverless car?
And if I'm being 100% honest, as soon as that car parked, I got online and Googled how much one costs.
Answer.
I was like, I could get a lot done if I were riding around in this vehicle.
Thank you.
If you live hard. Sir, hand has kind of scary.
So I think they were like 70 grand, but I think they only work in a certain section. Okay. So who wants to share some of your core needs? And did anybody come across something that you weren't expecting while you were doing that? Or did anybody, let me ask it this way, did anybody get them force ranked on needs?
Did what?
You
I
did?
did, I did.
Would you be willing to read them, like 1 through 10?
Sure.
Look at you, you're back, here we are. The Brittany Show.
Oh my gosh, so
Okay, and who has tissues?
seriously,
It's okay.
Well,
Yeah, it's okay.
the first, I was thinking I needed to rank them before I moved on, so that was,
Yeah.
I just skipped all that, it'd take a while. The first thing I put was learning. Because I do feel like I'm way behind, skills-based market, no skills, so that was. But then I went and changed it, and I changed my number one, core need to achievement. Because I'm just analytical and I really need to get things done.
So number 1 for you as a core need is achievement.
Achievement.
What's your number 10?
I moved my learning. No, beauty,
Beauty. Okay.
yes, I really,
But that is important to you and that's in your top 10.
it's in my top 10, I like things that look pretty.
Yeah.
But, but I have chaos in my house, so it's not there, but I like it, I like. New houses that are, everything's perfect and they're show ready. So then, I have achievement, growth, health. belonging, support, number 5. Recognition, 6. Fun is 7. Learning is 8, friendship is 9, and then beauty is 10.
Love it.
What was 10, sorry?
Beauty. 10.
Oh, you, okay, yeah, you said that earlier, sorry.
All right, let's go to the next one on wants. So, anybody want to share your wants? 1 through 10.
I will.
Okay.
Peace, love, connection, health, adventure, wealth, security, freedom, knowledge, and success.
Love it. Did your wants and your needs differ?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did you guys find that your wants and needs differed?
I'm very
Oh,
similar.
eventually, some that kind of overlaps.
Some
Yeah,
overlap.
some are the same, some are different.
Yeah, interesting when we frame it that way. What pops up is different, right? Okay, let's go to beliefs. So your beliefs, anybody want to share your top 10
It
beliefs?
was tough, 'cause there was a lot of.
There's so many. Right?
Yeah, Donna?
There's so much stuff that it's like, I believe that. And now this is not in a winning order that I had started for. Contentment, dignity, ethics, respect, learning, peace, wisdom, freedom, humor, optimism.
Love it. Can you, when you look at those, can you identify what would be your number 1?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Cool. Under beliefs, there's some reflection questions, which are your beliefs helping or limiting you? That's a good question. And then how does your belief system or your beliefs show up in your daily actions? So something that you believe in or something that creates your core belief system, does that show up for you every day? How does it show up? And then the third question is, would you benefit from reorganizing or reprioritizing them? Sometimes we have programmed in our mind what it should be. That's interesting. We're gonna talk about values next, but Bo and I went to the One Thing retreat last year. And part of that is you do a core values exercise. You do multiple of these, but not this many. And on the core values exercise, we went through and circled 10. And then they basically then challenged the 10 we selected as whether or not they were actually values or things we thought we should value. It's kind of like you go, well, family should probably be number 1, but it may not be. And that's okay. And so then what they said is the opposite of that, the behavior, if it triggers you, it's probably a value. So I did not even have efficiency on my list. And I will just tell you, my husband, love him to death, is about the most inefficient human I know. He's good, he's really great at other things. But I am like, I think from being a mom, like when the kids were little, I would like drop them at soccer practice. I knew exactly how much time I had to run to the post office, the grocery store, run another errand and be back to get them. And I get it all done in the time allowed, and then I would go home and have it done. And so here's another example. If there's something on the stairs and I'm walking up the stairs, I'm going to grab the thing on the stairs and take it with me to eliminate another trip upstairs. Like it's just how it's like my brain tries to get as much done in the shortest amount of time in the most efficient way. Bo, I have lots of stories. We could just start from riding in the car together, but Bo will walk past the stuff on the stairs and plan to take it upstairs. He's just not gonna grab it when he's going, he'll do a second trip, and that drives me crazy. Like inefficiencies drive me crazy, and so when we did this initially, I didn't even have it on there, and then I realized like the thing that grates my nerves the most is when we waste time. Like it just kills me. And you were saying beauty, and you're talking about your house, and I don't like clutter. And Bo stacks papers everywhere, like he just can't let it go, like the garage and everything else. He values something else and it's fine, but when I walk in and see it, it starts creating anxiety. Like it just makes me feel like I can't relax. So at some level, maybe it's order. I think for me, like order is important, like understanding where all the pieces go. So when you're doing this, the thing that triggers you, the opposite of that may be your value. Like if you have something that flares up often in you, it could be that you value the opposite of that. So that's another way to get to these answers. That's helpful, right? And then I would just say like, not what, the other thing they said, Wendy and Jay, was like, it's not what you want to become. It's like, I want to grow. I want to be a grower. But just because I want it and I want to grow into that doesn't mean it's actually a value of mine. So they said, just be careful of trying to force yourself into something because you think it's the right answer versus like actually how you wire. What are you gonna say?
My son is now 13 and he is, he's completely the opposite personality of me and I just love him to death. But he does, we just don't think the same. And so he is not efficient and he's not, all those things. So I'm trying to figure out personally why it's so aggravating, to me. I feel like I'm always, on him to, it's like, gotta get these done and there's our time frame and, and so that's really helpful to know that, it's just, I don't think how my natural bent is natural for opposites, and so I'm probably projecting. Trying to help him.
Like you, I'm trying to make it be
But
like
he's
you.
not,
Are you
it's
like that
like-
at that age? Are you like that at that age?
I really don't remember. I was think, I'm not, actually, I'm not the
Girls
first
and boys are
bubbly
different.
personality, yes, but you know what I mean, I'm more on the task side, so I don't think I was that stage, but I just am now coming to the reality. We were in a counseling session yesterday, and I'm like, why can't he take the things, where they go? I give him something. I just moved my dad at 2 whole rooms, from one state to the next, and I'm like, can you please just put this away? I give him a chip clip. But he moves it, but he doesn't put it away.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, I'm just asking you to just, well, I didn't recognize it was a chip clip.
Boy, going through it.
How many times did we lose the car key? Like a pig. I'll give you another, this isn't in this class, but I went to Fort Lauderdale in July and took an NLP training. And I posted that. Did you all see that? Neuro-linguistics programming, which Diana Kukoska is one of my mentors, and she's a master NLP certified. One of the most helpful classes I've ever been to. And I did it this summer, and if you wanna go, they have it in they offer 3 or 4 a month, but they're different places, and they used to charge like $5,000 for the certification, and now it's $300, and I can give you a promo code that makes it half. $150. You gotta go somewhere, like I know they have one coming up in Chicago, which is probably a cheap direct flight. But what I learned about NLP was lots of things, but essentially it's all about the brain. It's about programming, and it's a lot about how people are wired. And we learned a lot of different modalities to reprogram unconscious thought, actually, because you have an unconscious mind and a conscious mind, and your unconscious mind is actually dictating like what's happening in your life unconsciously. But it gets in there through either people telling you what you should and shouldn't do, or you gathering the belief system, right? So they talked about, we have like 2 million bits of information going past our brain every second. And your brain can only pick up on 126 bits. So the 126 bits that it believes to be important, it picks up, and that has to do with what your unconscious mind believes to be important. And so we could all be we're all having a different experience in this room right now. We're all here, but we're experiencing this activity and each other and things going on around us differently, right? So the other thing about that, was people. So this is what I want to share. Bo and I, for all intents and purposes, I think we do a lot of the same things and we work really well together. Yet every year I say we should sit down and set our long-term goals. And this is like a exercise that is like pulling teeth, because I just want to knock it out. And we never get it done still. So last year I said, let's sit down and set our financial goals for the next 5 years. What do we want to accomplish? What do we want to set up as a legacy piece? And so we get started and I go, okay, so what is our net worth goal? First question. I just want a number. So I go, what about this number? And in my mind, that's done. And he's like, you know what we should do? We should invest in this fund and this fund and this IRA, this fund, and he goes down this path. And I just go, you know what, I'm done. We're done.
Your
Okay.
minds are.
I got up and
Yeah,
left the
yeah,
meeting
yeah, go.
because I was so frustrated with big picture, little picture. So they taught us as an NLP, back to what you're saying. We either communicate big picture or little picture, not little picture. It's like high level or granular. And we receive information high level or granular, and it could be different. Like I could communicate high level, but receive information better when it's broken down. So I'm a high level thinker, big picture thinker. Bo is a details thinker. So when I say something big picture, you may not even understand what I'm talking about. So if I know that is now I understand that's Bo, I may have to chunk it down into things that he can actually pick up. And so that's like the beauty of this at another level for NLP. My vision from attending NLP, we're gonna roll out a leadership academy and MREA master's program. The whole leadership academy side is built around NLP principles, and everyone who goes into that will get NLP certified, at least the first one. That's just some fun things. It's like DISC on steroids, right? It's just knowing language people use and you can identify, like in sales, are they a big picture thinker or details? And if they're using words that are details, then you just change your vocabulary into details, and then we're speaking the same language. But if they're thinking big picture, you can chunk out into big picture, and then you can be connecting with communication, right? It's fun, I think it's fun.
Well, I heard it's.
What happened?
Help with relationships, you know what I mean, like,
Which is our whole approach, right?
well, I'm thinking that most, just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got about 5 minutes, so let's go ahead and jump into the back. I'd like to do. So. Let's do the strengths, discovering your strengths, which is right after the emotional piece. By the way, that emotional one, there's one in here on emotional triggers. It's in the very back. That's a really fun one. Yeah. Okay, so
What
that'll
are
be
we
your
looking, what are
homework.
we looking for?
We're gonna do discover your strengths. So in this one, you're gonna just go through, there's 10 questions. You're gonna circle A, B, C, or D. And then when we get to the end, we're gonna identify which one of those, A, B, C's, or D's you had more of, and then we'll walk through that. Discovering your strengths.
Multiple choice, no.
So on your strengths, how many of you guys had mostly A's? Carrie, so yours is you're strong in discipline and structure. And that matches, doesn't that match your leadership style? Are you more structured? I think in the very first assessment. I was a five. Oh, you were, so that was gut then, right? Feelings?
Yeah. No, I was the one, you're right.
So that was mostly structure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is kind of in alignment with that. B, how many of you guys were Bs? Okay, so Brittany, you shine in problem solving and creativity. And then Cs, yep, so your strength is empathy and emotional intelligence, which also matches your behavior style, which was your gut. And then mostly Ds is leadership and influence. What were you?
First, most was A and then D would be next.
Okay. Discipline, structure, leadership and influence. Love it. So this is, these are your strengths. And so it says if you're balanced, you could be multi-talented. Yes. If you know and understand your strength, then you can build on that. Right? Go back to like, how do you, I think about the 6 personal perspectives, like committing to self-mastery is number 1. That says, just understand your strengths. We say understand your weaknesses, but understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And then none of that is right or wrong, it's all good or bad, it's just where you're gonna excel. Then build things around you, just like that. Wow. So I'm gonna let you guys take that, you can take this. I've got a couple of empty ones, but again, this is just an awareness thing. It's a way for you to understand. I think the understanding what your wants, needs, and values are is probably it's all important. But those should define everything you do. Now I'll leave you with this. Why does that define what we do? Once you have clarity, and we all agree there's like 1,000 things we can do. There's 1,000 things you can do. You're in this room because you picked this thing to do. But you could go do any other thing and probably be somewhat successful with anything you put you're all into, right? Yet the thing about understanding what you value, this goes back to quantum leap. Gary always says you shouldn't ever really set real estate goals until you're clear on your what. Yeah, your mission, your MVP. What is your personal life mission, vision, value, belief, perspective? So then when we make decisions with this in mind, it's not like it's something good or bad, or right or wrong, or yes or no. It's does it align with the vision and mission that I'm on? And if it doesn't, it just may not be the right fit for you. And this can help you make really good decisions. Helpful?
I'm suddenly confused about what my strengths are.
Well, there, now you know. Now we can work outside.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
And
None of that sounded like, okay.
you could have multiple things, right? Like. I also think that we move from E to T, like people think I'm really structured. Cause I do a lot in systems. I'm actually like a 2 on structure. But I use systems to get an outcome that I wanna get. And it's like, it's moving into something purposeful where like if I don't have structure, I'm a squirrel. I get nothing done, I just spin around in circles, so it's just sometimes we do have to learn things that come outside of our behavioral style. So that we can accomplish something that we really want. And that's okay too. Just gotta kind of know where you're at. Where we're at. Too. Where
think
we're
that
at.
helps you not, if you just breathe a little more, realize that their brain's not working the same way yours is. It's not that they're trying to be difficult, it's just, they're just not wired that way.
In my NLP training, the teacher had us all get out a piece of paper and he said, I want you to write down the word sex. And everybody wrote it down and he goes, now I want you to write 5 words that you would use to define that word. Like. And then people shared. There wasn't a single person in the room with the same answers. There was like a girl in college that was like, babies, procreation. Male and female, I mean, then you had people like on the other end of the spectrum, I mean, it was, so like to what you're saying, we could take a word. And we all define that as something different. And then understanding that we all may perceive that word as something different, we're just throwing it around talking about it. Doesn't mean the same thing. Like, same word, completely different meaning. So sometimes we have to slow down and say, so what does that actually mean? Like, when you use the word, I want a deal, when you use the word like efficiency, like what does that mean to you? Because if we all wrote out our definitions, they wouldn't even be the same. It doesn't mean we're wrong, it just means that the more disaligned we are, the more confusion.
If some buyers, some sellers think clean is just removing stuff out of the house.
That's right, and
They
it's
don't
not
have
like,
clean.
there's a dust bunny in the closet and I'm not closing on this thing.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
that's like, that stuff shows up everywhere and it's just misaligned expectations causes frustration. So, go to NLP training. If you wanna get really, really good at communication. I will.
It's interesting to me.
It's in the Facebook page, so if you go look up to our Facebook group, just search NLP or just me, things I posted. It was like middle of July, and I put in the info, a link, and my promo code. And I know there's a group going to Denver in October from Cincinnati,
Going to what?
Denver for that training.
Oh,
But I also just saw there's one in Chicago, which is like a direct 40-minute flight and probably relatively expensive. Yeah. So, okay, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you for your time.
With the information.
It's on the Facebook page. I'll go tag you that. Yeah, if you just go into our closed Facebook group and search for me, like posts I made, it'd be like middle of July.
So you should have people sign up to take these classes, there'd be another time. Thank you so much for doing this class.
She's got a mastery group. I bought it for like 2 weeks ago about coding it and I broke this side. Did you hear that Tuesday call? I'm sorry.
They're going to.
He lives in this space.
I've been to Denver.
Like,
I was there.
Well, Chicago, it's, I don't know.
I went to shoot outside of whatever. Yeah, I don't want to go back. I like that.
It's all-
That's like different.
So you need to go do that.
I do, in Dallas, that's.
You'll do the next thing, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
You know, because
Got
not,
around.
not having that several, but I want, yeah.
That's the kind of thing.
That's the area where I know I need.
They need to open it up.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's helpful, for sure.
It's getting better.
Yes, we got the most of it. Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have to do another one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was in
Charlie Ridge.
Sorry, but if you've been there.
Well,
I see it going.
there's, that creates other issues.
Some situation where we have doors and surplus. Yeah. They would have to. People get housing somewhere else. Rather than paying the 15 or 16. Okay. So you got money in the shop. That really runs out of money. And the church. Church. And just do.
Problem is, so these people, a lot of them that are causing problems are not necessary needed. Yeah, they're on drugs. It's not just that, a lot of them are planning
That's all.
to cause trouble.
Yeah.
What time?
Crazy world.
Huh? How is it this? Oh. It's not, we're not. Are you all getting the Facebook notices or they're
Or, you should make this, it's been good, it's off share, fine.
Is it, next anything?
Yeah, I mean, if I would get it in my email, or put it on today, I'm like, I don't know why it's sitting there, because I have my internet. Anyway, so you signed up for that. Oh,
It's not signed.
no, you mean like it's under health? Yeah. You have to go to the,
But also,
the events, like, that you've been invited to, and you have to say you're going, and then you can add it to your app. And that way, every time I post something, it'll come over. People, you know, Oh, shoot.
okay, hey, I have like 10 minutes, but then I have to teach.
Should be like, any day, not go next.
Oh.
Should show what.
Okay.
When you say you, I feel that I'm sorry, right? It's exactly like, you need around, there's a house. Right. Chim, and then you can add it, all of it, you know. You know, one doesn't resemble any of that. Oh, my God. But really, that's how, I mean, to me, you see one of the saying. Not being, but sure, right, processing some issues. But I don't have the skill to get there, so I'm working on it, I was hired, sure. He has the skill, he's a high, you know. We should be the person, I very much. But extremely organized, so. She will find out all, it's just whatever you need, it's all me, it's pretty much word. Yeah. You know, it was like. I hate to this word, right?